Senators Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham now say former FBI Director James Comey had decided to issue a draft exoneration statement as early as April 2016, absolving Hillary Clinton of any crimes connected to her private email server. Comey even circulated the draft among top FBI officials, and that is according to unredacted transcripts of interviews with top Comey aides. Comey's planned exoneration of Clinton came long before FBI agents interviewed 17 key witnesses, including Clinton herself and other top aides like Cheryl Mills and Uma Abedin. Joining me now, former FBI Assistant Director Jim Kallstrom. Good to hear from you, Jim. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, nice to be with you.
Jim, what do you make of this news story?
It's not the least bit surprising. Liz, I've been saying this for, over a year. I mean, this whole thing was a joke to begin with. You know, the so-called investigation of Hillary Clinton. You know, the day that referral came from the intelligence community to through the department, and with a little note on there, you know, don't call it an investigation. And the fact that a grand jury was never impaneled, you know, would tell any investigator, I don't care if you've only been on the job a day, that this whole thing was not going to be legitimate. And it wasn't. It was an absolute joke, and it put at great risk the reputation of a great agency. It embarrassed the, you know, just the, I don't know what the word would be, of all the people in the FBI and law enforcement for that matter. And it was disgraceful. I mean, Comey, you know, in his testimony before Congress was, in my view, not forthcoming. He did nothing about the tremendous infringement on the rights of the American people by the IRS. He did nothing about the fraud and abuse on people's ears of Benghazi and all the lies that were told. I mean, the whole thing was just he was out for the Clintons from the very beginning, and you know it's very, very clear right now. But it was obvious to someone like myself that spent their life in this business that the whole thing was just outrageous.
Yeah, Jim, you are considered a legend within the FBI. And remember these contradictory statements that Comey himself had delivered. Let's listen to this.
Nothing that I sent or received was marked classified, and nothing has been demonstrated to contradict that. 7
email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program at the time they were sent and received.
I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of 2.
Secretary Clinton used several different servers and administrators of those servers during her 4 years at the State Department. And she also used numerous mobile devices to send and to read email on that personal domain.
The system we used was set up for President Clinton's office, and it had numerous safeguards, and there were no security breaches.
It is possible that hostile actors gained access to Secretary Clinton's personal email account.
Well, it sounded like Comey had plenty of reason to recommend a charge to the DOJ, the Justice Department, yet he drafted an exoneration of Hillary Clinton. Does that make sense?
It makes no sense, and he makes no sense. I mean, he is, you know, he has zero common sense, quite frankly, and it is just a total embarrassment. Let the American people down hugely by not doing his job, you know, not looking at the Clinton Foundation, not looking at all these crimes. You know, the exposure to the general public and to the foreign population, for that matter, of top secret documents, the very highest classified top secret documents, you know, would land the normal person in Leavenworth Federal Prison for decades, and it was just sort of just brushed aside along with, you know, just a whole, you know, plethora of other really, really serious offenses. And all this without a grand jury. I mean, can you imagine if they could compel testimony, and can you imagine if they could put people to show the extent of these conspiracies before the grand jury? So, you know, it's just a farce.
President Trump reacted on Twitter saying, quote, "Wow, looks like James Comey exonerated Hillary Clinton long before the investigation was over, and so much more. A rigged system." So do you think Jeff Sessions should take this up, and should the FBI continue it? What do you think?
Oh, without question, the Attorney General should be taking this up. You know, what is going on there? You know, what is going on at the Justice Department? What is going on with the Deputy Attorney General appointing, you know, a special counsel You know, what's going on with the Deputy Attorney General allowing Mueller to take the job when he has a conflict of interest, you know, the length of the Jersey Turnpike? I mean, what is going on there? I mean, this whole thing is just an outrage in my view.
Jim Kallstrom, we love having you on.